The rain started the way regret often does, a soft, almost apologetica before turning relentless. It drummed on the windshield as Daniel Reed slowed his car in front of the old brick building, the one with the flickering porch light and the stairs that sighed under tired feet. He hadn't planned to stop. He never did. CEOs didn't stop like this. Not at midnight. Not after 12-hour board meetings and a calendar packed with decisions that affected thousands. And yet, when he rolled down the window to breathe, a small voice cut through the rain. "Sir?" Daniel turned. A woman stood under the awning, clutching a little girl to her chest like an anchor. The child's hair was damp, her eyes wide but brave. The woman's voice trembled when she spoke again. "Can I stay here just for tonight?" Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. The kind of ache you don't name because naming it gives it power. He opened his mouth to answer, and what he said would change all of their lives. "Before we go any further, pause with me right here. If stories about unexpected kindness, second chances, and quiet courage move you, tap like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us till the end, because this story doesn't just ask for a night, it asks what kind of people we choose to be." Daniel hadn't always been the man who hesitated. He built Reed Tech from a rented garage into a global company by saying yes when others said number. Yes to risk. Yes to sleepless nights. Yes to walking away from things that slowed him down. That included love, especially love. When his wife left years ago, tired of playing second to a dream, Daniel learned to keep his heart efficient, organized, closed. So when the woman asked, he did what he always did. He assessed. She wore a thin jacket, patched at the elbows. Her shoes were soaked. The little girl clung to her, whispering something that sounded like a prayer. Daniel glanced at the building. A sign read "Temporary Shelter Full." He knew the neighborhood. He almost knew what saying yes could invite. Responsibility, complication, attachment. The rain soaked his cuffs as seconds passed. Her name was Sarah, and she had practiced the sentence 100 times in her head. She hadn't meant to ask him. She hadn't meant to ask anyone. Pride had kept her warm longer than it should have. But pride doesn't keep children dry. "I don't need anything else," she rushed, reading the doubt in his eyes. "Just tonight. I'll be gone by morning." The little girl peeked up at Daniel then, eyes shining. "I can sleep on the floor," she offered, like it was a gift. Daniel looked away, the city blurring. He thought of his own childhood, his mother working nights, his father absent, the memory of waiting in a car once while rain filled the gutters and the radio played something sad. He swallowed. "Get in," he said. "Just for tonight." Sarah cried quietly in the passenger seat, the kind of crying that apologizes for existing. Daniel drove without speaking, the windshield wipers keeping time. He didn't ask questions because questions made things real. When they reached his townhouse, warm light spilled onto the sidewalk. He handed Sarah a towel, then another for the child. "I'm Daniel," he said, awkwardly. "You can use the guest room." The little girl's name was Lily. She walked around the living room, touching things with wonder but never with greed. She found a framed photo on a shelf, a younger Daniel with the woman who looked tired but hopeful. "Your mommy?" Lily asked. Daniel nodded, surprised by the sting. Lily smiled gently, like she understood something adults forgot. "She looks kind," she said. That night, Daniel lay awake listening to the unfamiliar sounds of life in his house. A child's cough, soft footsteps, a whispered lullaby drifting down the hall. He told himself it was temporary. In the morning, he'd help them find a shelter, maybe call someone at the foundation his company funded. He would fix the problem efficiently and move on. But morning arrived carrying the smell of toast and cinnamon. Sarah stood in the kitchen, hair pulled back, sleeves rolled up, moving like someone who didn't want to be noticed. "I hope it's okay," she said quickly. "Lily gets nervous when she doesn't have breakfast." Daniel watched Lily spread jam with careful precision, tongue poking out in concentration. He remembered a time when mornings mattered. "It's fine," he said. "Sit." Over coffee, pieces of Sarah's life emerged not in a speech, but in pauses. She had left a bad marriage. She worked 2 jobs until one closed and the other cut hours. The rent rose faster than her paycheck. The shelter was full. Family was complicated. Daniel recognized a pattern. 1,000 small no's adding up to a cliff. He offered to call someone. She shook her head. Just today, she said. I'll figure it out. Daniel nodded, though something in him resisted the neat ending. Days passed. One night turned into 3, then a week. Daniel told himself it was because Lily's school bus stopped near his house, because Sarah picked up extra shifts nearby, because the city was cruel and timing mattered. But the truth was simpler. His house felt alive. Lily did homework at the big table. Sarah fixed a broken lamp with surprising skill. Daniel found himself staying late, not at the office but at home, listening to Lily tell stories about imaginary worlds where doors always opened. He learned that Sarah had once wanted to be an architect. He learned Lily was afraid of thunder but brave in elevators. He learned himself again. The challenge came quietly, as challenges often do. Daniel's board noticed his distraction. A reporter noticed the unfamiliar car in his driveway. Sarah noticed the way people looked at her when she picked Lily up from school near a gated community. We need to go, she said one night, voice tight. I won't be your scandal. Daniel felt anger flare not at her, but at a world that punished need. You're not a problem to manage, he said, surprising himself with the force of it. Your people. Sarah's eyes filled. People leave, she whispered. Daniel didn't promise forever. He promised honesty. It was enough to stay the night. When the storm came, it came all at once. The reporter published this speculative piece. The board demanded explanations. A donor threatened to pull funding. Daniel stood in a glass conference room and felt the old instinct rise. He cut losses, closed doors, but he saw Lily's careful smile, Sarah's steady hands. He spoke. He told them the truth, about shelter shortages, about living wages, about responsibility that didn't end at profit. He pledged company resources not as charity but as commitment. Some board members walked out, others stayed, shaken but thoughtful. The donor returned, embarrassed. Change is loud before it's accepted. The resolution wasn't a fairy tale. It was work. Daniel helped Sarah enroll in night classes. Lily joined the music program. The foundation partnered with the city. Daniel learned to be a father without pretending he knew how. Sarah learned to trust without surrendering herself. Love arrived not with fireworks but with groceries and calendars and apologies. One evening, as rain tapped the windows again, Lily curled up between them on the couch. Can we stay here? She asked, hopeful. Daniel looked at Sarah. She nodded, eyes shining. If you want to, she said. Daniel answered without hesitation. Yes, he said, as long as you need. If this story touched you, if it reminded you that one honest yes can echo farther than 1,000 safe no's, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a door to open tonight. Because sometimes the bravest question is simple, and the strongest answer is staying.